Hello, greetings. If you can hear me, give me a little like so I know that I can be heard well. Logging in just a couple minutes early. I have live chat disabled. I know that there's a little bit of a delay as well, so if you can hear me well. Prasadji sending me a little message. Lovely, thank you. So it looks like we have about 5 minutes before I get started. Anyone who has joined so far, I welcome you to have a block, a blanket, a small pillow close by. In fact, I will grab a block as well. I'm getting all the messages that the sound and video looks good. Thank you so much. So I welcome you into my studio here in Arizona. It is just about 5 p.m. for me, so it's nice and sunny outside still. I see everyone joining. Very happy to see you appearing. Live chat is disabled, but feel free to leave a comment for me if you like. I will have time to look at those later. Oh yes, I'll be mentioning the playlist as well in just a couple minutes. course, I'm not normally distracted on my phone, but I'm receiving all the messages now to say hello and we can hear you and this is lovely. Getting told that the playlist that I've created is nice. That's wonderful. So we are coming just into 5 p.m. in Arizona, where I am, and 7 p.m. in Chicago. And I want to say greetings. Thank you so much for joining me. I feel very blessed and very honored to have the opportunity to share some time with you. Being away from Chicago means that I am attempting to build a new community in Arizona, but I certainly very much miss my temple family and my yoga community in Chicago. So being asked, if I could share this time with you finds me very humble and very appreciative of the opportunity to be here. Maybe some of you have shared time with me before. Maybe some of you are sharing time with me for the first time. Either way, I'm so glad that you're here, and I look forward to our class this evening. So as we get started, we'll come to a nice seat on the mat. And I'll talk about the playlist, the music, and all that in just a few minutes. But for now, we'll come to a place of silence. And just closing the eyes. And allowing the hands to rest softly in the lap. And just noticing what you come to the mat with today. Is there tension in the body? Or are you relaxed? Relaxing the shoulders. Relaxing the belly. Softening the eyes. And allowing the breath to be expansive in the chest. And bringing awareness to the tip of the nose and the way that breath feels when it enters the body. Drawing in the pranavayu. And really coming into a place of centering. Allow the next inhale to be expansive and sweeping the hands up towards the sky. Really reaching, palms kiss together, lifting the chin. Exhale, draw the thumbs back to the heart center. Inhale, sweeping up. Reaching through the fingertips. Exhaling, back to the heart. And one last time. I invite you to keep your eyes closed, your hands relaxed, and just listening to the sound of my voice. Something that has had a profound impact on my own life is the study of Sankhya philosophy, which is the basis, the fundamental teaching of yoga and Ayurveda. We know that our yoga practice is much more than just physical movement, but it is all 8 limbs. And those 8 limbs allow us this journey of self-awareness and self-realization. And that self-awareness includes self-study, witnessing of self. Sankhya philosophy teaches us that Ishvara, universal consciousness, is a combination of Purusha and Prakriti, the divine masculine and the divine feminine, that come together in this expansive energy. And in that creation of we as beings in this body, in this life, the Mahat is developed, the divine intelligence, and also the Ahamkara, the ego. And with that comes the Mahaguna, the quality, the characteristic, the tendency of the mind, the manas. Mahaguna is translated as the Mahat quality. Sattva, Rajas, Tamas. Sattva is the observer, filled with luminosity, the sharing of wisdom. And it's how our 5 senses bring us cognitive understanding and action. Rajas is the consciousness of curiosity and desire. It's what allows us to remember to brush our teeth in the morning. And tamas is stagnancy and inertia, gross and dense and massive. And all 3 states of consciousness must exist in order for our continuation. And they are beautiful when they are in balance. But life's experiences has a way of knocking us off our balance. These 3 states of consciousness have never been more clear than they are right now. As we sit in our environment, our subclimate, this year, this month, this season, the Rajas is high and the Tamas is high. When Rajas is imbalanced, that curiosity and desire can become the actions of anger, the actions of forceful words, inflicting of opinion. It is also curiosity. So when it becomes imbalanced, it can be this insatiable thirst for knowledge and cause us to demand a reason why. Justice. When tamas is in balance, it allows us to fall asleep at night. It allows us to rest. But when tamas is imbalanced, it looks like delusion and attachment to possessions, attachment to people, attachment to ideas, or carelessness and self-destruction. But sattvic understanding, sattvic consciousness allows us to see and be the observer that the other two states of consciousness must exist. All three are necessary. Otherwise, we would cease to exist in one generation. We have a utopian idea in our mind about what a perfect world would look like without the war, without the discussions, without the arguments, without the opinions. Even without the trash on the street. But it's important to understand that it must be. And having the sattvic view is the journey to samadhi. But the self-study is there. We must witness these states of consciousness within ourselves, truly within ourselves. Our desire for control, our exhaustion. And when we witness them within ourselves, we can then truly see it in the outside world and know that it is all connected and we are all the same. The sattvic view allows us to see that imbalances arise out of fear, out of trauma. And so we view them with compassion. We see the rajas, we see the tamas, simply for what it is, in states of imbalance. These three states of consciousness are the primary teachings of the Bhagavad Gita. And the symbolism of the battle itself is not a physical battle taking place on a field. It is the battle within the mind. To understand that which we don't agree with must exist. So when we find ourselves in challenging times, when the frustration appears, when the fear appears, feel it. Allow yourself to feel it because that is how we are designed. And then pull back. And remember that sattva is the observer, so it's not on display. Rajas is on display. Tamas is on display. The bodhisattvas of the earth are quietly here, quietly contributing to the greater good, releasing control of the outcome, releasing desire for credit and merit, purely being. And Rajas needs the answers. And Tamas sometimes doesn't care. But that's okay. When we find peace within ourselves, in our own self-reflection, the vrittis of the mind, the disturbances of the manas cease to exist. Sage Patanjali defined yoga. Yoga vritti chitta nirodha. Yoga happens when the disturbances in consciousness cease to fluctuate. And even our physical practice, as we move through physical practice, for the body it is to keep us healthy and strong, but to be done at our own pace. It is the rajas that pushes us past our threshold. So as we move through practice this evening, I invite you to be a witness of your own rajas, the ego, and be a witness to your own tamas, the desire to give up. And gently opening the eyes. Now, as we move into our physical practice this evening, I invite you to click on the playlist that has been provided in the yoga group. I've asked my husband as well to post the link in the comments, or maybe Prasad could do that as well. So there is a nice playlist that you can play in the background. And I'll just give a minute for you to do that as we get started. And for those who joined later, I invite you to have your block or your blanket, your bolster close by. And we'll be starting that playlist now. Sitting nice and tall on the mat, Sukhasana, seated posture. Nice tall spine, crown of the head towards the sky. Shoulders relaxed down away from the ears. Sits bones firmly in the mat. Relaxing the toes. And as we move the body, we move prana, the life force. Every muscle engagement is one of the 5 directions of pranavayu. Next, inhale sweeps the hands up to the sky. Palms kiss. And breathing here, reaching the fingertips straight up, relaxing the shoulders down away from the ears. Sending your prana up towards the sky. Relaxing the knees, relaxing the belly. Shift the prana to the upper part of the body. And then gently lifting the chin. Take another nice breath in. On the exhale, take a twist to the right side. Left hand to the right knee. Right hand behind you, drawing the chin over the back shoulder. And then just being a witness here, twisting through the rib cage, breathing into the shoulder blade, and letting that prana go in the bottom half of the body. Just feeling it in the chest, the rib cage. Draw the chin back. Exhales deep in the twist. Two more breaths here. Next inhale takes the hands back to the sky, reaching up. Exhale, switch sides. Back hand allows the fingertips to rest on the mat, balancing on the ball of the hand. Back of the hand rests on the outside of the knee, drawing the chin back. Expansive inhales into the shoulder blade. Exhale until all the air is gone, allowing that twist to deepen. One more breath here. Next inhale takes the hands back to the sky. Exhale, press the hands straight out. You can interlock the thumbs if you like, pressing through the wrists. Allow the shoulders to drop away from the ears. Relax the toes. Feel your prana coming out of the palm of your hands towards the front of your room. Breathing here. Lengthening the spine. Crown of the head draws away from the tailbone. Nice big expansive breath. Exhale, fold forward. Allowing the elbows to rest, the head and chest get heavy. Lengthening the spine, sits bones remain grounded. Opening and expanding the shoulder blades with breath. Relaxing the jaw. Next inhale, slowly walking the hands over to the right side, drawing the chest to the right knee. Reaching nice and far away, keeping grounded in that left hip. Opening the left side of the body. And imagine that line of prana planted in the ground in the left hip, extending all the way through the left fingertips. Each breath creates more and more space. Maybe now that space is created and you walk a little further. And then gently starting to walk the hands back to the top of the mat. We'll switch sides, walking over to the left. Just starting out above the knee, chest drops towards the knee, reach and extend through the fingertips. Maybe your chin rests on the outside of the knee as you ground through the right hip. Allow the breath to create the space. And then move with that space, maybe a little further to the side. And next inhale, walks the hands back to center. Chest is still low. Plant the elbows in the mat, palms rest face down. Then lift the chin, draw the shoulder blades back together, shoulders away from the ears. As if you're drawing away from your tailbone with your chin. One more breath here. Next inhale, walks the hands back. Always supporting the lumbar spine with the hands. Drawing to the backs of the hips. Scoot back just a little bit, coming into straight legs on your mat. I'm going to switch directions, but you don't have to. You can stay right where you are. Nice Dandasana, staff pose, fingertips to the back of your room, toes towards the ceiling, knees towards the ceiling. Nice straight spine. Just allowing your fingertips to be wherever they need to be. That allows your shoulders to come down away from the ears. Open the chest. Feel the rib cage expanding. Shoulder blades come together. Sternum opens. Heart opens. And one more breath here. Next inhale takes the hands to the sky. Straight above. Next exhale, forward fold. Hinge at the hips. Lengthen the spine. It is not how low you go. It is the integrity of your straight spine, with the shoulders away from the ears and the shoulder blades together, lengthening away through the chin. Allow the hips to relax and open that space, preparing us for our postures. We're speaking to our joints here. It's the breath that opens them up. One more breath. Next inhale, lift through the chin and chest. We'll come on to all fours, hands and knees. Nice tabletop posture, moving nice and slow. Toes resting on the mat. Neutral spine. Wrists are right under the shoulders. Knees are right under the hips. And just relax the belly here. Relax the muscles of the low back. Relax the feet. Coming into cat-cow. Inhale, lift the chin and the tailbone. Exhale, drop the hips, chin to the chest. Inhale, lifting through the chin, belly to the mat. Exhale, round out the shoulder blades to the sky. Tuck the hips. Take a few rounds right here. Maybe you just close your eyes. Let yourself feel. And one more time. Next breath, we're going to rise up on the knees. Inhaling, taking the hands to the sky. Palms kiss. Send the hips forward. Exhale, take the hands to the backs of the hips. Inhale, open the chest, lift the chin. Exhale, take the forehead to the mat, Balasana, child's pose. Inhale, rise up on the knees, sweep the hands to the sky. Exhale, child's pose. Inhale, reach it high. Allow that back bend. Exhale, child's pose. Take a few rounds here. Your pace, your speed, your breath. Here we're opening up the shoulders, the hips, the knees, the wrists, and the lumbar spine, all at the same time. Maybe you hear a little bit of cracking occurring. And just know that's part of the process as well. Let's take one more round. Next, exhale, takes hands back to the top of the mat, back to tabletop, curling the back toes under, sending the hips up and away, downward facing dog. Pedaling out the feet, bending one knee at a time, getting long and strong in the arms, crown of the head drops down towards the mat. Press through the fingertips to take that tension off your wrists, balancing on the palms of the hands, the ball of the hands and the fingertips. Energy from the hips draws up and away to the sky. Draw the chin to the chest. Come into stillness here. Draw the heels down. Next breath, walk the feet up towards the hands. Staying in that forward fold, feet are hip distance apart. Grab opposite elbows, crown of the head drops down towards the ground, a little shift from side to side. Let the weight move from right to left. Allow yourself to pour over your own hips, almost like a towel hanging on a towel bar. Take the hands to the mat. Inhale, half lift. We're going to take a couple of breaths here. Fingertips can remain on the mat or they can slide up the shins. Wherever they are, allow the shoulder blades to come together. Shoulders back away from the ears and take your gaze to the top of your mat. Let the belly relax and breathe into the space in between your sits bones. On the exhale, allow your belly to come to the spine. Lengthening the backs of the legs. One more breath here. Next exhale, forward fold. Bend through the knees, protecting the low back. Ground through the heels. Inhale, we'll sweep it all the way up to the sky. Palms kiss. Exhale, thumbs to the sternum, to the chest, Samastiti. And just take a few breaths here. Allow that blood pressure shift to happen. Ground through the heels. Relax the shoulders. Feel the hands touching one another. Surya Namaskar, Sun A salutation. Inhale, sweep the hands high. Leaning back just a little bit. Exhale, swan dive, nice forward fold. Crown of the head drops to the ground. Inhale, half lift, gazing forward. Plant the hands, step both feet back to plank posture. Maybe you drop to the knees, maybe you keep your knees extended, but roll onto the tiptoes and draw your elbows inward as you slowly come down to the ground. Four-limb staff, Chaturanga Dandasana. Then allow the body to rest. Point the toes, lifting through the chin and chest. Belly button stays on the mat. Hug the rib cage with your elbows. Draw your shoulders back away from your ears. Take a couple of breaths here as well. And curl the back toes under, press off the palms, send the hips high, downward facing dog. One breath in. On the exhale, step hopper, jump to the hands. Inhaling halfway. Exhale, forward fold. Bend through the knees. Inhale, sweep it up to the sky. Exhaling back to the heart. Let's do that together again, this time with breath and movement together. Inhale, sweep it high. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, plant the hands, step back to plank. Take the chest to the mat. Point the toes, inhale, cobra. Exhale, curl the toes under, press off the palms, down dog. One breath in. On the exhale, step to the hands. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, take it to the sky. Exhale, back to the heart. Do it again. Inhale, sweep it high. Exhale, fold. Half lift. Plant the hands, step it back. Take it to the mat. Hug the rib cage, point the toes. Curl the toes, hips high, down dog. One breath in. On the exhale, step to the hands. Half lift. Full fold. Bend through the knees. Inhale, take it to the sky. Back to the heart. Take another breath right here. Just a breath. Surya Namaskar allows us to celebrate the sun, our existence, Prakriti, all of creation. Inhale, take the hands high. Exhale, fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, plant the hands, step it back. Exhale to the mat. Point the toes. Cobra. Squeeze the glutes. Point the toes. Curl the toes under, send the hips high. Step it forward. Half lift. Full fold. Remember to bend the knees. Inhale, sweep it to the sky. Back to the heart. I'm going to allow you to take a couple of rounds here at your pace and your speed. Just your breath. Maybe you try it with your eyes closed. Just to notice what you feel. Maybe it slows you down a little bit. Your awareness of the movement. Let's take one last full sequence. Last time, inhale, sweep it high. The next time you come to Samastiti, just standing at the top of the mat, closing the eyes, just being a witness to the increase in the heart rate, increase in respiration. All 5 vayu moving through the body, upward and out, downward and out, from right to left, from center to peripheral. Relax the shoulders. Again, you may see me switching sides on the mat, but you don't need to. So here we are moving blood through the body. Beautiful detoxification. Surya Namaskar B. Inhale, sweep the hands high. Gazing upward. Exhale, sit the hips low in chair pose. Grounding through the heels, press the big toes down into the ground. Reaching the fingertips away, shoulders drop away from the ears. Feeling the breath in the belly, draw the belly to the spine and sit the hips low. Don't allow it to scare you. Just breathe with it. That's prana revealing itself. Beautiful. One more breath here. Next, exhale, take the hands to the mat, straighten the legs, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, plant the hands, step back to plank. Chaturanga Dandasana. With feeling, with focus, all the way to downward facing dog. Long and strong in the arms. Next inhale draws the right foot up to the sky. Just pressing there through the heel. Exhale, step the foot between the hands. Drop the back heel down to the mat. Gain your footing. This knee does not go past the ankle. If that means you need to shift your foot up, do so. Next breath rises through the arms and chest, warrior one. Exhale, take the hands back to the mat. Lift the back heel off the ground. Step that foot back to plank, chaturanga. All the way to downward facing dog. Left leg, nice and high, press through the heel. Next exhale, step the foot between the hands. Drop the back heel down. Inhale, arms and chest high. Warrior one. Shoulders down away from the ears. Exhale, both hands back to the top of the mat. Lift the back heel, step the left foot back. Down to the ground. Cobra. Down dog. One breath in. On the exhale, step, hopper, jump to the hands. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Bend through the knees. Inhale, take the arms high. Chair pose. One more breath here. Straighten the legs, draw the hands to heart center. Beautiful. Staying right here, Samastiti. And just allowing yourself space. Feeling your heartbeat under the thumbs. Inhale, sweep the hands high. Exhale, forward fold. Half lift. Step it back. Chaturanga Dandasana. However you decide to do, dropping the knees or not. All the way to down dog. Right heel goes high. Couple of breaths here. Three-legged dog, pressing through the heels. Long and strong through the arms. Crown of the head drops to the mat. Square off the hips. The heel goes straight up and back. Next exhale, step the foot between your hands. Drop the back heel down. Getting that nice firm footing. Lifting through the chin and chest to start. Inhale, warrior one. Arms and chest high to the sky. Drop the shoulders from the ears. Same time you're sending that prana up and out of your fingertips. Square off the shoulders, bend through the front knee. Lifting the chin, reaching high. Two more breaths here. Front knee does not go past the front ankle. Next, exhale, warrior two, right hand forward, left hand back. Now the hips open to the left side of the mat. Bend through that front knee. Gaze off the front fingertips. Lifting the back hand in space. Front palm faces up towards the sky. Inhale, reverse warrior. Right hand to the sky, left hand drops. Maybe that left hand just rests on the left thigh. Maybe you draw it around your body, reaching for the front of the right thigh. Opening the right side of the body. Charge up the glute on your left leg. Take some of that weight off the right. Next exhale, right elbow to the right knee. Side angle. Inhale, reach the left hand high. Nice wide stance. If it's in your practice, maybe you draw your bicep towards your ear. And draw your chin towards the ceiling. If it's in your practice, maybe you drop your right hand inside the right foot and reach behind the back. If it's in your practice, maybe you reach back for your left hand and come into a bind. Or maybe you're right here, and that's awesome. One more breath right here. Drop your hand to the inside of your mat. Straighten that front leg. triangle pose. Maybe you need a block here. Maybe you lift your fingers to your shin. Pressing through your right toes. Breathing through. One more breath. Exhale. Left hand down to the mat. Front leg stays nice and straight. Hands are on each side of the foot. Pyramid pose. Now we're moving those hips, squaring them off with the mat once again, making them nice and square with your right big toe. If it's in your practice, maybe you drop your chest down towards your knee. If it's in your practice, maybe you draw your hands behind the back, interlacing the fingers, taking the hands towards the sky. Or maybe you're right here, and that's beautiful. Draw your right hip back and press through your right big toe at the same time. Lengthen that prana, that line of energy. Press through your left heel. Nice straight left leg. One more breath here. If you've taken that interlace behind the back, go ahead and release. And then bending the front knee. Nice and slow. Plant both hands. Lift the back heel off the mat. Step that right foot back. Drop the knees to the mat. Sit back, child's pose. And just noticing, just feeling the difference in the right and left side of the body. How much is already changed? Just a short break. Next inhale comes back to tabletop position. Curling the back toes under, send the hips high, down dog. Left side this time. Left heel goes high, three-legged dog. Pressing through that heel. Long and strong in the arms, squared off hips. One more breath. Exhale, step between the hands. Drop the back heel down. Find that nice footing. Inhale, warrior one. Grounding to the right heel, pressing through the left big toes. Left ball of the foot. If your left knee's drawing to the center of your mat, draw it back out to the left side. Reaching high. Charging up the right glute. One more breath. Exhale, left hand forward, right hand back. This time the tailbone comes down towards the ground. We open the hips to the right side of the mat. Prana branching out. Front of the body, back of the body, out of the fingertips. Drop the shoulders away from the ears. Bend through that left knee. Front palm faces up. Inhale, reverse warrior. Reaching nice and high to the sky. Grounding to that back leg. Charge up the glute, ground to the right foot. Reach to the fingertips. See that energy travel through your body from your right heel all the way to the left fingertips and into the sky. Next exhale, left elbow to the left knee. Inhale, right hand high. Lift the chin. Hands are engaged. They're not just hanging out. They're drawing that prana up to the sky. If it's in your practice, maybe you draw your bicep towards your ear. Lifting the chin. Beautiful line of energy from the right foot, the right fingertips. If it's in your practice, maybe you drop your hand down to the ground. Maybe you come into that bind. Maybe you stay right here. Wherever you are, breathing, being in it, in the moment, in your breath, in your heartbeat. One more breath here, taking that bind you can release. Triangle pose, taking left hand to the mat, straightening the left leg. Right hand to the sky, pressing through your left big toes, grounding through your right heel. Knowing that if you're using a block or you've moved to your shin, that's beautiful as well. Whatever allows you to have these gorgeous energy lines in the body. One more breath here. Next exhale, little bend to the knee. Take your hand back to the mat. Then straighten that leg once again, pyramid pose. Now the hips square off to the mat, gazing at your big toe. Press your big toe into the mat. And then ground to the back heel. Draw your left hip back. Left hip back, right hip forward. Press through the left big toe. If it's in your practice, you can drop your chest to the knee. If you find that one side is different than the other, that's absolutely normal. We have a dominant side of our body, which means it sees more action. If you're right-handed, you always step with your right foot first as well. So it means there's much more strength and flexibility in the right side. So just be a witness to the balance. Little bend to the front knee. Plant the hands on the mat. Lift the back heel up. Step back to plank. Drop to the knees. Child's pose. Just being with your breath. Next inhale comes back to tabletop. Curl the back toes under, send the hips high, down dog. Maybe you notice the difference between this down dog and your first down dog. We've activated lots of the body. Inhale, right leg high, three-legged dog. Exhale, step the foot between your hands. This time, back heel remains off the ground, coming into high crescent pose. Inhale, arms and chest high. Drop the shoulders away from the ears. Lengthen the back leg. Charge up the left glute. Bend through the right knee. Press through the right big toes. Next, exhale is going to draw the hands together to a prayer twist on the right side. Locking the outside of the elbow to the outside of the knee. Lengthening the back leg. Press the palms together. One more breath here. Exhale, take both hands to the mat. We're going to shift the weight onto the right foot, lifting the back leg high for half moon. Place the right hand, it's about 6 inches in front of the right foot. Take your left hand off the mat, up towards the sky. Press through the left heel. And all that wobbling is beautiful. Exhale, take your hand to the mat, both feet to the mat. Nice forward fold. And plant the hands on the mat, step the feet back, down dog. Take a couple of breaths right there. Inhale, left leg high. Exhale, step between the hands. Back heel stays lifted. Inhale, arms and chest high, high crescent. Reaching up. Pressing through the back heel, bending the front knee. Lengthen the right hip, front of the body. Next, exhale, prayer twist, left side. Pressing the palms together, lengthening the back leg. And smile. Bending through the front knee. Exhale, take both hands back to the mat. Shift weight onto that left foot. Left hand. Taking right hand, right foot to the sky. And pressing through that back heel. That foot is not just dead weight, it's engaged. Draw the shoulders away from the ears. One more breath. Exhale, both feet to the mat, both hands to the mat. Nice forward fold. Bend through the knees. Inhale, sweep it all the way up to the sky. Nice and slow. Exhale, back to the heart. Take a couple of breaths right here. Bring a smile to your face. Just being a witness to this beautiful vehicle that we're in. Feel the grounding through your heels. As we prepare for some standing postures. So we spoke about that prana. So let's start here. This midline, we press the palms together. Really press the thumbs into your sternum and the palms together. All the fingers are connected. So standing hip distance apart, just pressing the palms together, but not just the palms, the fingertips as well. Draw your shoulder blades down away from the ears. Lift the elbows a little higher and then press the fingertips and the palms together. This line, we're condensing the energy to the midline. So we draw it from the peripheral in to the core. This is how we draw prana in from the outside world, the prana that is all around us, the energy, the protons, the neutrons, the electrons in the air. When we breathe in and we do pranayama, we're not just breathing air, we're breathing energy. We're breathing the akasha. It's the very reason why we have Bluetooth, because now we figured out how to harness it. So we're going to come into figure 4 pose. Grounding through the right foot. Little healthy bend to the knee, bringing the left foot to the right knee. Drawing those hands to heart center, but we're pressing through this heel. This foot is not just hanging out here, becoming a weight, making us wobble around. We're pressing through this heel and pressing the palms together and drawing the shoulder blades together and sitting the hips low. Sending the tailbone away and then condensing, drawing from the outside to the inside, as if you have this ball of energy in your belly. Pressing it all in. Lifting the chin, dropping the shoulders, pressing through that left heel. Gripping the ground with the toes, sitting the hips low. 2 more breaths. And a slow, controlled release. So if you're ever in a standing posture and you feel like you're getting very wobbly and it's time to get out, do so. Don't fall out of it, right? Step out of it with mindfulness and control. So let's switch sides, planting the heel in the ground, toes in the ground. First, just shifting all the weight on that side. And then bringing the foot to the heel, pressing through that heel, hands to heart center, and then sitting it back. Drawing all that energy from the outside in, crushing it inside, gripping the ground with the toes, pressing the palms together, shoulder blades together. Drawing it all into the belly, into the midline. Set it even lower. 2 more breaths. And a gentle release. Little step from side to side. Switching sides once again. Coming into tree pose. So maybe you're here. Maybe the ankle has a little support for the heel. And this is your tree pose, which is beautiful because this in itself is already building strength in the ankle. Maybe you draw your foot to the inside of your shin. Shoulders drop back. Right? Spread all the toes apart, but never the knee. So the heel is not resting on the knee. Maybe it's to the inside of the thigh. Wherever it is for you, find your space and take your hands to the sky. And maybe you sway like a tree. Shoulders drop away from the ears. Grip the mat. Breathing with abandon. Woo! 2 more breaths right here. And a gentle release. Great job. Side to side. I can't see you, but I know you're doing a great job. I know you're still here with me. You're swaying with me like the trees. Let's switch sides. When I think of tree pose, I always think of Sita in the garden, waiting for Rama to find her. Go ahead and bring that heel to your ankle, or the inside of the shin, or the inside of the thigh, wherever that is for you. Think of Sita in the garden of trees, waiting to be discovered. As she takes notice of the trees, the Ashoka, in fact, and thinks about the strength and endurance of a tree. So find that here, the strength and endurance of a tree, wherever that is for you. The stillness, the quiet, even as the swaying is going on. Subject to the elements, the rain, the wind. Maybe you start dancing because this is a cool song if you've got the playlist on. Reaching up, reaching up. A gentle release, woo! Coming out. Coming back to heart center. Switching sides once again. So we're going to start off by just reaching up to the sky, right side. Now, ground through the right foot, reach towards the sky, but don't just stand there and reach your hand up. Think about Superman, like you are trying to take off from the ground. You are grounded through your foot. That energy and that prana is coming straight from the center of the earth, going out into the akasha, right? Now, from this space, you have this beautiful strength in the right side of the body. Take your left hand to the left knee. Now remember that foot's not just hanging out there, you're pressing through the heel. You're pressing through that heel, and the other side of the body is like Superman, Superwoman taking off from the ground. If it's in your practice, you can reach for your foot and extend. Woo-hoo. Wherever that is for you. But remember, coming out with control. A nice step down and a release. Switching sides. Give a little shake to your body. It's going to tell you what it needs to feel as you readjust and get into the space on the other side. Reaching upward. Right hand to the right knee. And press through the heel. Remember that you're pressing through this heel, and this foot's kind of here by itself. You're not grabbing it and holding it with your hand. You're just touching it, right? Reaching upward. Press through the heel. Breathing. Letting all that little wobbling take place in the ankle, building incredible strength in those tiny little muscles. And a gentle release. Whew, beautiful. Step it left to right. Let's take feet a little wider than hip distance apart. Actually, let's take them even wider. Nice wide leg stance. Walk those tippy toes apart. Nice wide leg stance. Nice tall chest. Shoulders down the back. Nice straight spine. Take a big breath, open your chest. Lean it back. Exhale, forward fold. Hands on the hips, nice straight spine. Crown of the head comes down towards the mat. Then release the hands. This might be right where you stay. If it's in your practice, you can widen your stance a little bit more and draw the crown of your head to the ground. Wherever allows you to have your legs straight. Maybe that is right here for you. And that's beautiful as well. Dropping the head down. With that sensation of dangling from the hips. Imagine your vertebrae separating here, even in the back of the neck. Send the tailbone up to the sky. Press your belly towards the ground. Next inhale lifts the chin and chest to gaze straight down at the mat. Place the left hand right in the center. I'm going to take an inhale, take the right hand to the sky. Sitting back on the heels, nice twist. Maybe your bottom wrist needs a little support, so lift your wrist off the ground, balancing on the ball of the hand and the fingers. Creating a little kickstand with your thumb. 2 more breaths here. Exhale, right hand to the mat, switching sides. Inhale, reach it high. Again, creating that little support for your bottom wrist. If your wrist hurts here because it's sinking into the ground, make some changes, make it comfortable. Let your body tell you where your stretch is. Maybe you feel it more in your right leg, maybe more in your left leg. Press the toes into the mat, draw your chin towards the sky. 1 more breath here. Exhale, back to the mat. Walk the tippy toes and the heels a little closer together till the feet are a little bit wider than hip distance apart. Start to bend the knees. Your toes are farther away than your heels are to the center of your mat. So your toes are pointing out as you drop the hips down towards the ground. This might be right where you stay. And it's okay if your heels don't come all the way down to the ground. Sometimes if you step your feet a little bit wider apart, that will allow the heels to come down to the ground. If it's in your practice, you can draw your hands to heart center in Anjali Mudra for a pose. And pressing the elbows against the inside of the knees. This vayu is Apana vayu. This is the downward flow in the body. This is the beautiful mobility of the human body. This is our natural design. This low squat. This is especially good for women. Especially good for pregnancy, especially good for menstruation. But over the years, we got molded to our chairs. We sit on the couch, sit at the kitchen table, sit at the desk, sit in the car, sit on the toilet. We got molded to our chairs. We have to sit on the ground as we were designed to do. Big breaths in the belly here. Deep stretches to the groin, opening the arteries. This lowers blood pressure, opens the blood flow. The chest be expansive. Next exhale, take the hands to the mat, very slowly lifting the hips and straightening the legs, walking the toes together. Nice forward fold here. Head is heavy, little bend to the knees. Really allowing the hips to open. Draw the rib cage to the thighs. Walk the hands forward, dropping the knees to the mat. Drawing the forehead to the ground, child's pose. The sense of letting go. The sense of surrender. Embracing SATTVA. Big expansive breath. Long exhale until all the air leaves the body, every last drop. Next breath lifts the chin. Coming back to hands and knees. Dropping one hip to the mat, whichever you prefer, coming onto the back. Lying back down onto the mat. Knees are bent, supporting with the heels. Take the feet a little wider than hip distance apart and just allow a little rock to happen left to right. Hands can rest wherever they're comfortable. And then drawing the soles of the feet together, Supta Baddha Konasana. Knees drop out to the right and left. Soles of the feet touch. Hands wide at the sides of the hips, palms facing up towards the sky. And softening the forehead. Relaxing the eyes. Next inhale draws the hands overhead. The elbows rest on the ground. Fingers are relaxed, opening and expanding the chest. Next inhale, draw the right knee over to the left. Allowing that beautiful twist in the hips. Knees are stacked, ankles are stacked. It feels better to completely roll onto your side and get nice and flat there first. Do so. And let the knees and hips stack, and then open and draw. That shoulder back to the ground with the arms extended. Relaxing the shoulders. Relaxing the toes. With the next inhale, rolling back to that fetal position. Knees and ankles stacked. Just taking a few breaths here. Allowing the body to settle into the ground. This is our self-awareness. What do we feel? What's the sensation? And with the next breath, slowly rolling onto the back. And switching sides, rolling over all the way into that fetal position on the other side. Being nice and flat on the body, on the hips. Maybe you keep a pillow between your knees. That's okay as well. Next breath, open the chest. And draw the shoulder down to the ground. Decompression of the lumbar spine. And the next exhale settles you into that space. Exhales with a sense of surrender. A sense of softness, of sweetness. With all that is good and all that is right. We've been taught to believe that when we sit still, nothing is happening. But in fact, we're bringing great rejuvenation to the nervous system. The nervine tissue in the body is 1/10,000th of a millimeter. So with each exhalation and the space that we breathe in the spine, we create 10 times more space in just a millimeter, or 10,000 times more space in just a millimeter of movement. And each breath here strengthens the lung on one side of the body. The next inhale draws the hands back together, nice and slow. And just resting on your side. Moving with that softness and that sweetness. Gently rolling onto the back. Moving nice and slow and giving a little rock from side to side. Your body will tell you what it wants to feel. And whenever you are ready, straightening out the legs, drawing the hands overhead, interlacing the fingers and pressing the palms away, taking a nice breath and lengthening the body. Long, 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 long as it can be, drawing the rib cage away from the hip bones, opening and expanding the shoulder blades. Reach, reach, reach. And on the next exhale, hands come back down to the sides of the hips, feet come nice and wide. Savasana. Taking an expansive deep breath, filling the lungs to capacity. On the exhale, long and slow, allow every last drop of air to leave your system. Allow the eyes to soften and relax. Relax the jaw and allow the teeth to separate. Draw the tongue back away from the roof of the mouth. away from the teeth. Allow it to float in the center of the throat. And relax your toes. The practice of our yoga brings us balance. It's not just the balance on one foot, but the balance of our mind. It's not just strength and flexibility in the body, but strength and flexibility in our emotions, in our actions. Gently expanding breath. Deepening inhales and exhales. Bringing small movements to the fingers and toes. Larger movements to wrists and ankles. And small movement throughout the body. And drawing one knee into the chest at a time to protect the low back. Drawing the knees to the chest in a little rock from side to side. Whenever you're ready, rolling over onto the side that calls out to you. Not being in a hurry to move, but just taking a few extra breaths there to receive this moment. And when you are ready, using hands to press away from the ground, coming back to a seat, maybe allowing your eyes to stay closed, to harness that groundedness. And coming back to a seat with a tall spine. Relax shoulders. And rubbing the palms together, creating that warmth. Placing the palms over the eyes. Rejuvenation from all the computer screens, all the technology. Being kind to self. And drawing hands to heart center. And sitting in a sense of humility, a sense of gratitude. And being a witness, becoming a SATTVA, doing small acts of kindness in the background. without need for merit, but bringing sweetness to our challenging moment. And that's all it is a moment that will pass. Please share an Om with me to seal our practice this evening. Taking a nice deep inhale, exhaling fully, inhaling again. Namaste. I am so honored and so humbled to have shared this time with you tonight. If you were here, maybe leave a comment, say hello, so I know you stopped by. I will be in Chicago in July, so I will be, hopefully we'll be practicing together at Temple by then. But I do intend to come and see everyone at yoga practice, most likely on Wednesday night, July 13th. I'm thinking I'm going to be there, so I'll be posted. I'll keep posting about it, but thank you so much, you guys, for sharing your time with me tonight. I wish you blessings, 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 and a sense of peace, a sense of gratitude, even in these challenging times, to be in the sattvic state. Namaste.